thus far this year. Had a bit of an off year in '85. Great year in '84. Probably his best ever when he won twice and won better than 60,000. Wonder what kind of a prize fighter he'd have been. Surprises me he took up bowling rather than fighting, the way he likes to get out there and get after people.
He's going through exercises, stretching, everything in between during the commercial break. Trying to keep himself loose and keep that concentration sharp.
One of the unique players on the PBA tour. He's his own personality.
He's unique in meetings, too. For 3. Knocks that 10-pin out of there. You see that ball is actually falling back. It's setting all the way. It still has enough power to knock out the 8-10.
It's almost like the days of Coco Johnson or Don McCune with that fallback shot.
Watch it, watch it. It is falling back. It's hardly rotating, a little bit, but just enough. Boy, the 5-8-10 were the last ones down, but they went down.
Now Hugh Miller will try and make it 4 in a row
to take the lead for the first time in the match.
Strikes in the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and hopefully in the 8th.
He's light, comes up. Oh, boy, did that ball finish.
It was funny, I had a chance to chat with Hugh earlier today and ask him about Ernie, but let's take a look at the replay
Look
first.
at it, just finished so hard in the last 10 feet there. And he's gotten himself squared away and found out whatever he was struggling with the first couple frames, and the last 2 had just been dead flush.
I talked with Hugh earlier today. I said, what was it like bowling with Ernie? This is the 2nd year. He said, well, it's an experience, but he's a great player, and it's a lot of fun.
To even the match. Couldn't respond. The baby split the 2-4, and he's in the position they have to make this. They have to make this split. They're down by 12 pins if he makes it. If he misses it, they go down to the 20s. Stiff-legged finish here. It lifts the devil out of that ball.
Literally tears the finger holes out of it.
At the 2-4, doesn't make it, and they're in big trouble. Suddenly they go from ahead in the match. They're down by over 20 pins now.
A key open there in the 8th. And now Salvemini and Gant, if they strike out, the best they could shoot would be 224.
And Miller and Schegle going at a 228 pace. They're definitely in the driver's seat. Salvemini must strike here in the 9th frame to keep them any chance. And is he going to get lucky? Nope. Leaves the 7-pin. Looks like Miller and Schegle are in good shape here. They've risen to the occasion when they needed to. Behind in the match, came through with 4 in a row. Aulby and Cook better have their strike clothes on.
I have a feeling they will. They've been striking all week here at the Showboat. Salvemini, nice conversion of the 7-pin. Shakes his head a little bit, obviously disappointed. And Miller and Schegle now lead by 24, and they're working on a 4-bagger.
One here in the 9th frame would just about be the icing on the cake. The best Salvemini and Gant can get is 214. They have to hope that Miller and Schegle would open here and they could strike out in the 10th.
Miller and Schegle working on a possible 258. That's a bunch.
Especially as tough as the carry's been that we've seen today. Good speed. And he blows that 5 out of there. Do you believe that shot? Even Ernie's little reaction to that shot. Watch it. The ball is fading. It will just nick the 5-pin. Watch. Just get it, but just enough.
Well, that's better than the first shot in the 10th against Dickenson and Pappas. And, oh, I'm going to run, take it all the way down to the end of the Showboat. And he'll jog it right back home, but it's a strike, and that's all that counts. Hugh Miller trying to just wrap things up here in a semi-final game, and it's the Greek Church.
And I think that's still enough. I mean, and the reason it's the Greek Church is because it reminds, with all the pins on the different sides there, it reminds people of the spires of the old Greek architecture in Europe. And they're adding up the score here, but I think he needs one of them. And he got 3. It should be enough if my addition is right. Yeah, he finishes with 219.
Hugh Miller smiling as he walks back towards Ernie Schegle, but they are the winners in the semifinal match as they shoot 219, and Hugh sort of breathes a little easier at this point.
What do you do right now if you're cooking Aulby? Do you make Miller finish last in that championship match?
I think the way Ernie is bowling right now, I think I would obviously put the pressure on Hugh Miller. He has bowled pretty well, but Ernie has not missed the pocket.
Yeah, Ernie's he's wired.
And I don't expect that he's going to miss it between here and the end of the next game.
If it were me, I would make Miller finish the match.
John Gant trying to finish things up. A strike here would give Salvemini and Gant a 2-0-3 game. But it will be Miller and Schegle, the guys that played all the odds here this week with a left-hander and a right-hander, and they'll match up against the top seeds, Mike Aulby and Steve Cook, a team that won this tournament last year from the top seed position. A slashing strike for Gant. The final, 219-203. Schegle and Miller will advance into the title match here of the $130,000 Showboat PBA Doubles Classic, and they'll bowl for the title right after this.